A few days ago, I made a video about The Boys finale, talking about if the finale stuck the landing or not, as well as giving my ratings, reviews, and opinions about it. By the way, you guys should check the video out, it's on my YouTube channel, but it got me wondering, which one did it better, the comics or the show? So today I'm going to be comparing both finales, the comics and the show, and seeing which one did it better. Anyways, on to the video. Starting off with Butcher vs. Homelander. See, in the show, Homelander is the president of the United States of America and is currently making a speech in the Oval Office on live television, where all of a sudden, Butcher and Kamiko pull up and they start fighting. And then Ryan comes in to assist Butcher and Kamiko, so basically it's a 3v1 against Homelander. And then Ryan and Butcher hold Homelander down and Kamiko nukes blast them, just like Allahu Akbars them, and just removes all the Compound V out of their systems, making all three of them powerless. Now, Ryan's in the corner, knocked out, where all of a sudden Butcher and Homelander wakes up and they start fighting. Butcher starts beating the living shit out of Homelander, going like 1-2-1, us, which then Homelander collapses to the ground, bleeding, and starts begging on his knees for Butcher not to kill him. But Butcher is not having it, Butcher, wants to get revenge because Homelander killed Butcher's wife. So, he gets the crowbar and says, "This is for Becca," and stabs it in Homelander's brain, ending Homelander once and for all. Now, let's talk about the comics. See, the comics, on the other hand, are a little bit interesting, as I put it. See, Homelander goes like insane mode and gets all the soups in the world to do this massive take over the world shit with him, which obviously they agree to, and they start just destroying shit all over the world. Homelander, on the other hand, goes to the White House and kills the president of the United States, which makes the government low-key panic because they're like, yo, we just lost the president, we are cooked. So they gave the military access and basically everything else to the boys for them to kill all soups. Now, Butcher and the military are waiting outside the White House for Homelander, but Butcher insists on going in alone, saying that, nah, I got this. And, goes inside the White House alone to confront Homelander so he can get that sweet revenge because Homelander killed his wife and all that. And comes across Homelander in the Oval Office with the president's head. And just before they fight, Homelander's like, yo, I did a lot of horrible things. I killed a lot of innocent people, but I did not kill your wife. But Butcher ain't trying to listen to none of that. Alright, he wants to get his revenge. Just before they start fighting, Black Noir comes out of nowhere and takes off his mask, which is revealed to be a copy of fucking Homelander, alright? And I know what you're thinking. Wow, this is actually like the greatest plot twist of all time. Like, holy shit, holy cinema, this is actually peak. But when you think about it, you realize this just ruined the whole fucking story, alright? Everything that we've built up to just got thrown under the bus. And I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about, bro? But like, listen, what made Homelander and Butcher's relationship special is that Butcher was trying to get revenge on Homelander because Homelander is low-key an evil person and, he killed Butcher's wife. But when you add Black Noir into the equation, it's like Black Noir killed Butcher's wife. So then Homelander just got tricked, alright? He just got played, which makes Homelander an innocent person. But it's like, no, he's not. He still murdered a lot of innocent people and did a lot of fucked up things, alright? He still should, be killed. But like, when you add Black Noir, it's like it kind of ruins all that, especially Homelander's character arc, Instead of making him a narcissist, insecure man-child, it just makes him an innocent guy who just got played. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Black Noir just one-taps Homelander by, punching him in the jaw and whatnot, and then Butcher runs outside, gets a machine gun, shoots the living shit out of Black Noir, and then gets a crowbar and shoves it up his eye, killing Black Noir. Now, in my opinion, the show did a better job at this because, they actually ended off Homelander's character arc in the best way possible. Letting us see him without his powers and letting us actually see who he truly is. An insecure man-child and a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? And especially in front of the whole world, the entire world got to see Homelander's true colors. Whereas in the comics, they just throw Black Noir in and, just kind of like ruin the whole story. Like, if I want to summarize the whole Butcher versus Homelander fight in the comics, it's like, it's a cool idea. It's a cool concept. But it does not work in the story. Black Noir being a copy of Homelander is a cool idea, but it just does not work when you think about it. Alright? It just ruins the whole fucking story. It ruins Homelander's character arc, it ruins Butcher's character arc, and it ruins everything the story has, built up towards. Now, don't get me wrong. Part of me wanted to see this in the show when I first, found out about the comic ending. But, after thinking about it more and letting it sit down, I just realized it was a shit ending and they should have not done that. That was like the worst idea of all time. It is a cool idea though, don't get me wrong. Like, this is like on par with, in the show, what if the Deep is the contingency plan and is like, stronger than Homelander? Which is like, yeah, cool concept, cool idea, but it's like, I do not want to see that in the show, right? Like, don't get me wrong. cool idea, but no, just it's not it. That was just not it. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give the show some credit, and the show kind of wins in this situation. Now on to Huey versus Butcher. See, in the show, after Butcher kills Homelander, he goes to the boys' hideout and offers Ryan to come stay with him. But Ryan says no, saying that you're a monster and a fucked up dude, and ends up getting adopted by MM. Anyways, Butcher goes to his room and finds out that his dog Terror sadly passed away during his fight with Homelander. And he gets really sad, and then becomes mad, and then realizes Soups need to go. So he gets the soup killing virus, goes all the way on the top of Vought Tower, and is waiting currently until the morning time happens when all the soups get out during their morning shift so that Butcher can kill all of them at once. Anyways, Huey finds out about this, confronts Butcher all the way at the top of Vought Tower, and they get into a fight. Butcher starts to win because, he has good hand-to-hand combat, and Huey starts getting the living shit beat out of him. Just when Butcher's about to pull the trigger and let the virus out, Huey gets a gun and shoots Butcher, and Butcher passes away. Now, in my opinion, this was okay, but it's kind of rushed. See, the fight with Huey and Butcher is really rushed, and it's only like less than a minute, maybe like a minute and a half at least. And it's like, bro, this is supposed to be like a huge, impactful fight. And the fact that Butcher, the reason why he lost is that right before he pulled the trigger, to let the virus out, he saw a vision of Lenny. And it's like, bro, just pull the fucking trigger. Do you want to do this or not? And Huey just shoots Butcher. Now, first of all, Huey would never just kill someone like that, alright? Yes, he has killed people, but it's like after he's persuaded and convinced a lot, and then he does it, alright? Isn't he the same guy that says, hey, killing isn't good, guys, stop killing, guys, stop fighting? Isn't he the same guy? Like, bro, we cannot be serious. This guy just pulled out a gun and shot his best friend. And I know Butcher's not like the best person in the world, but it's like, bro, chill out. Like, it was not this serious, alright? Like, I get it. You're trying to save Starlight and Kamiko, and you're trying to save your friends and whatnot. But it's like, should have not came by yourself. You should have at least got the boys to come with you, Then you could have got some help, and then you could have, like, I don't know, maybe arrest Butcher. Like, didn't you used to work with the CIA or something? You could have just arrested Butcher, alright? Not fucking shoot him. Like, dog, chill out. Chill the fuck out. It was not this serious. But yeah, this fight was clearly rushed. And I do remember back in like season 4, season 5, like he used to defend Butcher too. And he was the reason why in the beginning of season 5, Butcher was actually kind of a good person, If you don't remember, like early like season 5, Butcher was actually pretty good. Thanks to Huey, alright? Thanks to, them talking and whatnot. And Huey's the same guy who helps Butcher get past his demons. But it's like, bro, chill out. You could have just had him arrested, alright? And the fight, it was like less than a minute long, I believe. It was only like a minute or a minute and a half. Like, bro, this is supposed to be like impactful, And it's like supposed to be a really big fight, alright? They hyped this up for the past 5 seasons, and it's just only a minute and a half. Like, come on, bro, what are we doing? Now, in the comics, after Butcher kills Homelander, or Black Noir, he doesn't feel satisfied. So he decides to kill all soups, thinking that will bring peace to him. And decides to get the soup-killing virus and go all the way on the top, I believe, is the Empire State Building, and just let the virus out. Anyways, he needs to stop anyone in his way, because, he doesn't want anyone in his way. He wants to actually do this. So he goes and blows a fucking bomb in MM's face, killing him. And then he plants bombs at Frenchie and Kamiko's house and blows their asses up too. And then Huey confronts Butcher at the top of the Empire State Building, I believe so, and they fight. Butcher falls down from the glass roof alongside with Huey, and Butcher gets paralyzed and Huey gets impaled, by a metal fence. Both his legs are just cooked. Anyways, Butcher being Butcher does not want to go to jail. So he comes up with a plan and says, yo, before I came to the Empire State Building, I murdered your whole family. And started actually taunting and rage baiting Huey. And, Huey fell for the rage bait and fucking killed Butcher, And the minute he killed Butcher, he called his parents and found out that they're still alive. And that Butcher tricked Huey into killing Butcher. Because Butcher didn't want to go to jail, alright? Butcher would rather die than go to jail. And he knew that Huey wouldn't, fucking kill him like that. So he had to trick Huey into killing himself. So, yeah. And I think this ending is way better because, it fits both characters. That is the most Butcher thing to do, to, rage bait his teammates to killing him because he'd rather die than go to jail. Alright? I believe this is mentioned a lot of times in the show on how Butcher disliked jail and said that he'd rather die than be in fucking jail. And that him rage baiting Huey and then Huey falling for the rage bait and killing Butcher, that makes more sense, all right, than just Huey pulling out a fucking gun and shooting Butcher. Like, that makes more sense if Huey just got tricked into killing Butcher than, him doing it himself, all right? So, yeah, I think the comics win this one. The comic had a better ending, or, with the whole Butcher versus Huey. Now, do I think that Butcher killing the boys, like French, and Kamiko, was a good thing? No, it wasn't. But I think that the way they handled the Huey versus Butcher fight was done way better in the comics than in the show. But that's just my opinion. Now it comes to this. Which one did the boys finale better? The show or the comics? And I gotta say, it's the show. Because, look, listen. The show wrapped up Homelander's character arc, Butcher's arc, and, everyone else's arc with, especially and Ryan and all those other characters way better. Do I think season 5 was rushed? Fuck yeah. Do I think Soldier Boy and Gen V doing fuck all was, shit? Yes, I think so. But, honestly, at least it was better than the comics. At least it was, not throwing fucking Black Noir and ruining Homelander and Butcher's character arc last minute. And, at least Butcher didn't go out on a fucking killing spree and killed his own teammates. The only good thing about the comic finale was that the Huey and Butcher fight. Huey versus Butcher was the only good thing from the comics finale. Everything else is fucking ass, alright? And yeah, I know it's ironic that in both finales, Vought is still around, but it's at least the show kind of wrapped everyone's arcs pretty well, alright? Besides Soldier Boy and Gen V. They didn't do those, but everything else they did pretty good, especially Ashley and Father and the Deep and all of those other characters. Meanwhile, in the comics, they just did fuck all and, threw Black Noir in there and just fucking had a WrestleMania fight. But yeah, the show is a better finale. And yeah, please subscribe, comment down in your opinion, which one's better, the comics or the show, or do you agree or disagree with me? And would you have liked to see the Homelander clone, the whole Black Noir thing from the comics in the show? Yes or no? And yeah, please subscribe. See you guys later. Have a nice day. Bye.